Hi friends, today I wanted to talk about positively approaching differences. Sometimes you have those situations where you may have differing values from another person, and one approach is where you could just kind of completely avoid the topic in itself and never bring it up again. But uh, in a work setting, that may not always work out. And for me, I wanted to see it as a positive opportunity to get to know each other's differences more, kind of open up your world, and also find a way to collaborate and get closer to each other by finding a solution or maybe a way forward that both could uh, walk hand in hand in the same direction, even if you don't end up agreeing with each other's values. Um, so what got me thinking about that today was I had a coworker who was giving me a lecture regarding the China region that we're involved in, but uh, they were also kind of explaining the whole industry in general in the China region. And during that conversation, they're explaining how China was implementing very strict measures, sustainability measures to promote the environmental sustainability in general. And I guess it's these measures are negatively impacting many companies in the market, and it's weeding out all of the small companies who can't afford to uh, implement the necessary investments to be able to follow the rules. And so I guess it's really kind of hurting the market. Uh, of course, I see the value in it, and I understand why it's implemented. I think it's a good thing. But I've also kind of been exposed a lot to the values and the news and all of the kind of information in regards to sustainability that has kind of made it something I value within myself. But uh, I think for others, it may not be something that they could understand. Um, and my coworker, in this case, I think they were just joking. They just kind of joked about how these measures are a nuisance. Uh, but I and I could understand why, uh, because if there's anyone who wasn't really exposed to the concept of environmental sustainability their whole life, they may hear about it in the news, but they don't truly understand it. And the world they live in, it's just uh, part that this topic just leads to costs and issues that negatively affect you yourself. I could see why it's a bothersome topic. Um, so when the my coworker joked about how it's just an annoying issue, it made me think like how what could I do to kind of get them to understand w- why sustainability is important, especially because they may not be able to understand it without having more thorough background in regards to sustainability, environmental sustainability. And this could be something about anything. It doesn't even have to be about sustainability. It could be, I could have had a differing value in regards to more political issues or more social issues. It could have been anything, but in any case, how could I get them to understand? Uh, and I think that situation was what kind of kicked me off into thinking about the topic I'm sharing today, how to positively approach these differences. And what I realized was that uh, what I was thinking about was how can I get them to understand? And that's not a bad thing or a wrong thing, and that is my goal. But at the same time, I was also trying to think like, you know, it maybe there's something I don't understand too about the way they see this topic. So I also, I guess I need to kind of be willing to listen to, and also, even if I do want them to understand, this would require me to communicate with them. But why would they want to listen to me? Was where I kind of my thought went to. Because I could talk about it all I want, and ideally, uh, they would learn about the topic and understand more, respect it more. Um, and even if they don't respect or understand the topic more, uh, hopefully I could be the person they would uh, respect or be willing to kind of want to support. And through that, they would support or be more willing to kind of understand this topic, in this case, sustainability, through me. But either way, whether it's they better understand or respect the sustainability, or whether they better understand or respect sustainability because they respect or understand me, uh, I need to find a way for them to be willing to listen to me, because what's going to convince them or is going to be the words or actions coming out of me. And so that also got me thinking, like, how would I get them to be willing to listen and take in what I'm trying to say? And I was thinking, putting myself in their position. And what I realized was that I think it's important to kind of show that you value the other person. And by showing that you truly value the other person, that would give them room to give me a chance to kind of share information that they will be willing to pick apart. Because if they weren't even willing to kind of accept me, then there's no point. But if I show that I'm interested in them and that I value them, they will then, at least I think, be willing to kind of give me a chance to show that I have value too. And so I think through working with them more and complimenting genuinely in regards to positive things about the other person, maybe it's their skill, their personality, their the way they interact, just kind of making sure that they know that I recognize them, would kind of give me the first step to getting them to be willing to listen to me. Anyways, I feel like I made that more confusing than it should be. Pretty much shorten it, be nice to the other person, and I think that would make them more willing to listen to you too. And through that, you can finally begin a conversation. But if you just try to kind of push your values, or even if you don't push, try to explain your values to the other person without giving them a reason to want to listen to you, I feel like that wouldn't work either. And so uh, it's really important that you learn to give first, even if you feel that what you're going to give afterwards regarding knowledge about your values is important. They may not think so. So, yeah, learning to find the good thing in the other person, I think, will help. And in the end, you could hopefully start a dialogue, and that, I think, could lead to uh, opportunity for not only you to share your values, in my case, my understanding of sustainability and why it's important to me, but also I could kind of dig in. Maybe they have a reason for why they're kind of holding back on sustainability, or maybe it was a misunderstanding, or maybe they just didn't know and now they know and are more willing. So I think that's what's important, and that's how you could kind of positively open up and approach the difference and kind of navigate a way to start a conversation and hopefully uh, at least agree to go in the same direction, because you have kind of created that mutual relationship to be able to respect each other, even if you might not agree with each other's values. But because you respect the other person, you try to respect their values too, and then walk hand in hand in the same direction. And that would be a positive conclusion to a difference you had with someone. Wow. I think I may have made that more confusing than it is, but those were my thoughts. It's always confusing. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll share more thoughts with you another time. Ciao.